All right, back to the 8th. Our defending champion, Chanettee Wannasaen for birdie.
Yeah, pretty busy scorecard with a couple bogeys, an eagle, and a couple birdies. Just barely missed that one.
Yeah, it looked like she just also hit that just really firm. You see the shine on the green. It's a little bit faster than she thought.
Back up to the 9th. Ariya Jutanugarn for her birdie.
Yeah, Ariya hit a little bit of a loose drive off the tee. Hit a great bunker shot from the fairway bunker shot. Got it up and over the fairly steep lip and left it right below the hole here. So basically straight up the hill. Might just try and move a little right at the end.
Oh, just like you read it. And you're gonna watch Ariya all day. She does not take driver off the tee. She is not super confident with her tee ball, so a lot of long irons, a lot of fairway woods. Players weren't making birdies on 7, the easiest hole. It felt like they were walking away with a bogey, just even making a par. And so, you know, having to be patient, but also when you're looking at the scoreboard and you see, you know, Polymac at 9 under, a handful at 8 under, you know, you also have to be fairly aggressive. And it really, these par 5s is when you can kind of put the pedal to the metal a little bit more.
Ariya Jutanugarn on the tee with the 3-wood. And Gary's with this group.
And the main thing is there's a sort of a diagonal ridge that runs across this fairway. Out there about 230, 40 or so, it will run down another 15, 20 yards, give you an opportunity to reach into possibly.
It is also really hot out there. We're comfy in our little sound booth area, but I'm sure the guys out there can say it's about 90.
Ariya Jutanugarn is surveying her options. And Gary's there. And Gary, I know that you got to look at this. What kind of options does she have?
Well, her and Angel are right next to each other. Actually, Ariya has the better lie. It's on a slide down slope. So the good news is with the good lie, she should be able to get a decent amount of control over it. Angel, on the other hand, got a ball that sort of just nestled a little bit in some fairly, a little bit of hard pen underneath it, but they're going to get it up fairly quickly because this is about 10 feet below the level of the green. Good news is you've got about 30 feet to land it in.
She definitely didn't want to flirt with hitting it too short and having it come back at her, but she really hit that, being impressed with the conditions of the golf course.
Jim Myers, the superintendent, has done a great job. Gary, this course is in perfect condition.
Absolutely, yeah. The greens, if you get it inside 15, 20 feet, there's no excuse because the surface is so good. This is a quick putt here down the hill.
Yeah, it's tough because it went uphill first. You had to really hit it up to get it on the right line, and then it gathered so much speed going downhill. That was a good lag putt by Ariya over the last 5. So just to get the ball rolling in the right direction, have some positive momentum for the second half of the season.
Ariya Jutanugarn to remain at 4 under. To save her par here at the 10th. She goes out in 32, starts her back 9 with a par, as she is 5 shots back of Polymac, who leads by 1. On the tee at 11, Ariya Jutanugarn with an iron.
Justin, this hole kind of epitomizes the challenge this week, doesn't it? Very narrow avenues. Get it in play as much as you can. You're going to have a lot of scoring clubs in.
Gary, I could not agree with you more. Just driving around the golf course this week, seeing how narrow it is, I'm thinking if you can get in the fairway, you can score. If not, it's going to be a short week.
Well, and someone like Ariya, who is excellent with her long irons, could be really great.
At the 11th, Gary, Ariya Jutanugarn is putting together a ball striking clinic so far off the tee.
Yeah, it's almost automatic off the tee, which, as I said, leaves a lot of these types of shots 115 yards. She's going to slide down slope, which actually might help just to get a little bit of a shoot on that first bounce.
Well, you can see she's putting the weight on her front foot and kind of using the slope, her body with the slope. But because of that, it really came out low and hot.
You know, one thing I love discussing is how in golf we're trying to make longer golf courses. That was a shorter hole. Chanettee Wannasaen, her third at the 10th.
Yeah, if you're going to miss it, this is the place to miss it. This came out nice.
Oh, that was beautiful. When I was on tour, I actually on par 5s would almost kind of aim for bunkers if I didn't think I could get there in 2.
Jutanugarn here for par at the 11th.
Basically the same putt you just saw Angel hit.
And that seemed to be a tentative putt right there by Jutanugarn. That'll be her first bogey of the day.
Sometimes it's easy to not hit it too firm because then you don't want a 5-foot putt coming back that's downhill and can be really slippery, and you know, have a good balance.
Ariya Jutanugarn on the tee at 12.
Well, nice aim to see if we get it right down the middle on the other two. That is right down there as well.
You know, Amanda, you said how she doesn't hit driver. At a place like this, she doesn't. Now the defending champion, Wannasaen, who actually goes by the name Proud.
Well, she wasn't real proud of that second shot. She hit it over the green, but she hit a nice third shot to here. This to save par. Short game's been pretty good. A lot of confidence now after that slow start.
She can be proud of that par-saving putt.
Or even just the way she's come back since those first 2 bogeys. And look at that card. Eagle, birdie, birdie, another birdie on the card. Sometimes you'll...
Jutanugarn looks like a 3-wood in hand, Gary.
From about 250 on an upslope, so you've got to really force that weight off that back foot to get off and up along that slope. So leave this one right. You can play this hole from short though, which would be handy. You can see she really forced her way onto that front foot. And that is spectacular.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. She really doesn't need to take driver off the tee because her 3-wood is juiced. I mean, especially when she kind of cranks it up to a different gear. It's almost hitting like driver off the...
All right, back at the 12th, Ariya Jutanugarn went long 3-wood over the green.
The 2 chips I've seen Ariya hit have come out very low. Yeah, lower than you would imagine. This one, you've got to be careful. This comes out low and fast. Everything runs away from her. Downhill all the way from here.
Gary, I wonder if she was thinking about that, because that was not the type of contact that you'd expect.
It was clunky, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I would say you could even hear it, just like that, like clunky's the perfect word for it. It just was not solid, a little bit hesitant. Jordan's.
Hey, I respect that. That was a missed birdie attempt by Ariya Jutanugarn.
Well, you could see right out of the gate, she didn't like it. Immediately stood up, started walking. It's easy to do that when you know you've mishit it, but I always find it so important to just really stay down on the ball. Even if you feel like you mishit it, just keep your body still, keep the head down. Out last year and trying to do some great things on the LPGA Tour.
Now, Jutanugarn trying to save her par. That was a more confident stroke.
Yeah,
back.
more back uphill. Definitely was not tentative there. You could even see it bounce.
Was there maybe some frustration in that?
That was hit very aggressively, considering how short that was. Off.
Now Jutanugarn trying to bounce back at 3 under here through 12.
We just had one of those comfortable clubs. Those last 2 shots was kind of just one of those examples of I didn't have to do anything special with this, just hit my shot. This should be a stock driver range 7 as well.
Interesting, just throwing her hands at it. 3 good shots.
Wow, a little putting contest. Corner.
All right, Jutanugarn now to try to bounce back with a birdie of her own.
Her pacing has been off the last several holes. That seemed a little bit better, just hit it. It was almost like yanked it a little left. I mean, the tempo seemed better. Shut the club face a little bit at impact and made it go left. It's tough. It's tough to correct on a golf.
As we take a look at Some insights by KPMG, and last year, look what Wannasaen did. First in all those categories, which would be a reason why she set a course record 26 under.
And you see that first in birdies or better. She's third on the LPGA Tour in birdies. So when she gets on a roll, kind of that birdie train, watch out, because she can rack them up every round.
20 years old, and she already has a win as a 19-year-old and a win as a 20-year-old.
That's not too bad.
Chanettee Wannasaen at the 13th, a long birdie putt here.
Yeah, coming off just kind of a sloppy par at the last hole. Really could got to the green in two. Hit a kind of a bad third shot. Didn't make the birdie, but not her best iron shot. But she's 35 feet. Ought to go a little bit to her left. But, you know, when she won the Dana Open, she's obviously, you mentioned last year here, she can really kind of get it going. She plays kind of fearless. She plays very aggressive. She did at Dana. Had a 5-shot lead, let that get away, ended up winning by 1. But
is that just the youthful, like, exuberance that you don't know any better, you just go for it?
Definitely a little bit of ignorance is bliss, you know. Just when you get older, it's so easy to get a paralysis by analysis, because you know what else could happen. And but she also is just so confident with her putter that when she does hit sloppy shots, she's 9th.
Second for Jutanugarn.
Lovely tight spinny lie here. Good looking line as well.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, that was really well executed. Almost had a little bit too much spin on it, but we'll have a nice uphill putt coming back. We can put on an aggressive putt.
Reverse this, I mean, everything. Not nearly as much aim point either.
There was a phase where there was a lot of aim point on the LPGA Tour, but the last, I'd say even just 2 years, is kind of died down. Stacey Lewis was one of the biggest aim point putters, and I haven't seen her do it.
Now Jutanugarn trying to get back to 4 under.
Any straight putt here for Ariya.
Yeah, she misread that. She aimed it outside left, and it looked like a fairly good stroke, good tempo to it. Just was a misread. It can be really frustrating, and it just shows you how mental golf can be, to stay positive when you're hitting the ball really well.
it's pretty close. It was a toss-up. This putt's going to go from left to right pretty good.
Jim, if you need a golf tee, I think I know where to find one.
It's always a good spot to put them in the ponytail. You know exactly where to find them.
Wow, that didn't move at all. That had speed. I can't imagine the ball above the hole how fast it's going to be.
And that's just such a kind of a delicate balancing act that golfers have to do. You want to be aggressive when it's below the hole, and you have those uphill putts. You want to put that solid, confident stroke on it. But then all of a sudden, you can have a 3 or 4 foot putt her entire professional career. She just really expects perfection.
Now Ariya Jutanugarn, her second, with the airplane flying right by.
It seems to be a popular time for flights to leave.
That was Alaska Airlines Flight 73.
Look at you.
150 left for Ariya. Just a good thump with an A time.
Took absolute dead aim at it. And that paid off. She's going to have a pretty straightforward birdie putt coming up.
Ariya Jutanugarn for birdie here now at 15 to get back to 4 under.
Well, that second shot never left the flag. It absolutely had zero amount of curvature on it. So straight below the hole, just moved just a little bit left to right up the hill.
as well as she is. Chanettee Wannasaen started her round with a bogey, then had another bogey at the 4th, an eagle at the 5th. That kind of turned things around, and here she has a chance now to get to 4 under. An impressive bounce back by the 20-year-old.
I would say the fringe collar there really didn't come into play because it was just so close to the ball, so close to the green. But wow, that was really quick.
Ariya Lee and Wannasaen trying to save her par here. Nicely done.
Yeah, she got a little aggressive on that first putt for birdie, and really good, confident comeback.
Now, Jutanugarn has a putt for par to stay at 3 under.
Was actually a pretty good chip. She'd obviously had a few struggles on this back 9 with controlling contact and how quickly a ball comes out with that force front looming past the hole. For her to get it almost pin high, it was actually a pretty good effort. So this one, I think this is fairly straight. Might just try and move it a little bit to her right off that gentle slope coming off the bunker.
She's only missed 1 green in regulation all day. That was back at the 11th hole, and just hasn't quite had the pace on today with her putting, and not quite as sharp on some of the chip shots as well, so you can put pressure on her putter. She's only had 2 1-putts, and the rest have.
When she was there, and he said, when she gets going with that club, she's one of the best drivers he's seen, male or female. Just dead solid perfect, and barely moves in the air, and hits it long.
So does this woman. Now with a driving iron.
See if she can get that little low chaser down here. Fairway starting to firm up. That's a beautiful tumbling draw. Good looking shot there. Watch this one go.
I love watching her off the tee.
Yeah, and it hit a little.
Ariya Jutanugarn, second shot.
So as Amanda said, unfortunately bounced into that upslope. So 160, just got that little overhanging limb about 20 yards in front of her, just in her eye line. Just try and get it onto this lower level of the green. Oh, what a shot that is. Spectacular.
Gary, it looked like she tried to even flight it lower because of that tree limb.
Yeah, it was right on the edge where you could just...
Can't believe it either.
Wannasaen.
That was from 112. Wow.
Oh, she got that to stop right on the number. That was flirting with dunking from the fairway.
Chanettee Wannasaen, defending champion, won as a 19-year-old, and she has bounced back, has that. Now, on the tee at 18 is Ariya Jutanugarn.
Ariya managed to coax in that birdie putt in the previous hole, so good to get a little bit of confidence going with the putter. This bunker just nibbles in on that right side. Just narrows that fairway to about 25 yards wide.
She's only missed 1 fairway all day, and that'll be the second one. Looks like it might be flirting with that pine straw. Maybe got lucky and got.
They shake hands and share some hugs on the green to say congrats. We get a look at Ariya Jutanugarn's lie. And
rather play something to the front, it's kind of a small target.
This is David Eller, her caddy.
Goes where it goes, where we just take it on. If we're long, we're long. I'd rather make sure we're covering this, take anything behind the flag. Just, I want to make the green big enough. It's a 152 cover. I think we just hit easy 8 right out at the, kind of just left of that 10.
If it jumps.
If it jumps, it's going to be long, but on that angle, we'll have a pretty good look for a chip. Any wind will be from the left.
It's an excellent description there. Yeah, the crucial number is 152, so You do have plenty of room. You play right at this hole and just play for it to come out a little fast. It's a tricky lie. It's hard to get the control on it. Tell you what, though, this is about as good as you could have hit. That was perfectly done. That was exactly where they were aiming. Great result.
Almost exactly how they wrote it up. I mean, you could even hear them say if it goes long, because they weren't 100% sure how it was going to react out of that funky lie, but that was really well done.
Is Ariya Jutanugarn for her birdie.
It's a well-managed second shot. Now, this here is by no means easy. The second half really picks up a bit of speed to come to the left.
That was a good putt.
Yeah, you could see, just like Gary said, it really start gathering speed towards the end.
And now Wannasaen.
Yeah, just 133 is the afternoon, you know, with the heat, the ball does go a little bit further. You get in the morning, the ball's not going to go near as far, obviously, with the cooler temperatures and basically no elevation difference. But I think the players are aware of what they got to carry it at least to the hole, and I think that's what we saw the last two long.
What a good shot right there.
Oh, that was amazing. You can see why she's third on tour in birdies made. She's really been taking very aggressive lines.
Defending. And now Chanettee Wannasaen, defending champion. Think about where she was at the beginning of this round. She was +2 through 4. A chance here to get to 5 under.
I mean, we were even talking about that before we went on air. Like, man, she's struggling today when everybody else was under par. You know, she was 2 over. Now, I really flipped her around.
Jim, really impressive stuff from her.
Yeah, I drove up on there, was waiting for her at the 5th, and she knocked it in for about 30 yards and then birdied the next couple. But you're right. I mean, she did miss the cut last week, but she had a great week just a couple weeks ago.
Not her best effort right there. She does not have to worry about taking her time. She puts that in for a par and a 4 under 68.
Good to see you, dear. I'm sweaty, so be careful.
While we have a moment, let's go down to Gary Christian.
And here with